Hello.
Hi, Joe. How you feel?
Oh, good. Good to get the first one.
So walk us through kind of what led to you ended up playing today.
Yeah, went through a workout this morning. Felt good enough to play. Felt good out there.
What exactly did you like? You said feeling good. What exactly did you want to feel during that workout to feel confident enough to be able to perform at the level you wanted to?
Don't have any setbacks. That was basically the criteria for me.
Did at least doing something on Friday and Saturday, even in a limited situation, did that help?
Yeah, it did.
In what way did it help?
It did. I think really it just gave the decision makers confidence that I was going to be able to go out and do what I needed to.
When we last talked to you, it felt like you knew that this could be a week-to-week thing, and you were at least mentally preparing yourself to kind of have to deal with this and play through this. Was that the case, and how hard was it mentally to get ready for tonight?
Yeah, it still is. It still is. You know, we feel good. We didn't have any setbacks today, but still day to day. You know, I've learned through this process that you can have one at any time. So it was good to get through this one. That means it'll be stronger for this week. So hopefully I can have a full week of practice to prepare for next week.
How do you kind of have to play differently with this tonight specifically? How did you have to kind of play differently?
I was pretty cautious with extending plays. I was quick to throw the ball away, but we were able to get the job done.
It looked like you held on to it a little bit longer in the second half. You should start to feel more comfortable. Was that something that you did cognizantly? Like what kind of led to that? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just the flow of the game. You know, I still threw a couple away. I was able to slightly extend a couple. You know, I think on offense we played okay. We still got to be better in a lot of areas. I got to be better. We got to be better as an offense. We got to not have as many pre-snap penalties. So there's a lot to improve on.
One of the game's biggest offensive plays was you being mobile on a naked boot, getting it downfield to Jamar. How did you know you would be feeling comfortable to make that play?
I didn't. But I felt good, and it was a big play for us. That was our most explosive play of the game. Jamar had a great game. He showed why he's one of the best.
Zach
On
said
the
he
third and 10, on the 3rd and 10, where you threw it on Jamar, the 3rd and 10 to Jamar, where it looked like you kind of threw the back shoulder. It looked like that. I mean, that was kind of an example of maybe things are getting better.
Yeah, we like I said, there were bright spots. Obviously, got the win, and we played well enough to win. But there's still so much room to improve. You know, a lot of things left out on the field.
So you're trying to I guess you're trying to hit because the safety was there, and you were trying to go back shoulder.
Yeah, correct.
Were you having trouble hearing him? What did he have to say to you?
I'll keep that between us.
Did you feel like you kind of there's all sorts of tension, long term, 0-3 short term. I mean, your future. I mean, what were you balancing in your head?
Yeah, that's all the stuff that you weigh when you're making that decision. There is risk to go out there and potentially re-injure it, but there's also a risk to go out there and be 0-3. So I wanted to be out there for my guys, and I was confident that I would be able to do what I needed to get the win.
How much lobbying did you do to the decision makers throughout the course of the week to give them the confidence that you felt good enough to play?
Yeah, once Friday, Saturday hit, I was pretty confident that I'd be able to do it. So I voiced that.
On the throw to Jamar that Hobson referenced, did your headset go out before that, or were you having trouble hearing?
There were a couple times, not fully, no. There were a couple times throughout the game that there were some headset issues, but I don't think that was one of them.
Joe, how challenging has it been trying to get explosive plays down the field? You guys haven't hit much of such a big part of your offense in recent years, and is that kind of a source of frustration for you right now? You guys haven't been able to get those?
Yeah, I mean, those are obviously make it a lot easier, but we've played 3 really good defenses that know that that's what we're good at and are good at taking that away. And then, when you're able to extend plays, kind of explosive plays are created in that way. And so I think, going forward, the healthier I get, the more we'll be able to do that.
How much did the defense's performance help you that where it didn't get into some kind of crazy shootout, that you could kind of manage the game a little bit because of what they were doing?
Yeah, that was critical. Once we got that lead in the second half, the defense started to really tee off. And as a quarterback, that just kind of changes your mindset of the game. You don't have to take as many chances. You're not going to try to fit as many into tight windows. And when you have a defense like that, they take care of the rest.
For you personally, is there anything about being able to play in a game like this, finish a game like this, go against Donald, get a decent game? Is there anything mentally that this can do for you, being able to move forward on this injury?
Yeah, it's gonna be better this week than it was last week. That's just comes with time and rest. So we got a short week, so it's going to be a challenge. But I'm confident that we'll be able to put in the work to be ready for Sunday.
How much was that a factor, the short week, just knowing that you're going to have to play another game potentially in the decision to play tonight?
That was not a factor. I mean, obviously, when you play a Monday night game, it's going to be a short week. But I guess I didn't even think about it until right now.
How do you feel now compared to after Baltimore?
Way better now. There were no setbacks today. I feel good. So throughout this whole week, it'll just continue to get better and better.
Jamar said after the game, Joe, just a couple minutes ago actually, that all I can do is make Joe look good. What does it mean to you to have a guy like Jamar willing to say maybe you should sit out, but then once you get on the field, be fully committed to doing whatever it takes to get open?
Yeah, when coming into this game, I was going to feed my guy. He was due for one. I knew he was going to have a big game. Just the way he was talking all week, he was excited to play this one. So I was, he showed up big for us, showed why he's one of the best.
It sounds like, throughout the whole process, Zach and everybody put a lot of stock in what you had to say and took everything at face value. You said you were good, you felt good. What's it like to have that kind of relationship and that rapport that they can when you say something and, they can have that confidence that your gut is right?
Yeah, that's, why we've been so good. The coaching staff has a great relationship with everybody in the locker room, and is, that trust has been built that, not just me, but everybody in that locker room, I think, feels comfortable going up and talking to Zach and all the coaches and being honest and open with them. And I think that's going to continue to be a big reason why we win.
From a satisfaction or pride standpoint, where does this game compare? The injury coming from behind with throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns kind of for you personally?
I'd always rather throw for 400, but I pride myself on my availability, and so I was happy to be available for my guys tonight. Obviously, a lot of room to improve, but I was happy to be out there.
When did you decide in your head that you were going to play? When did you think, I'm going to be able to do this?
Probably yesterday.
I guess you told Jamar on the bench, I guess, right? 3 games, that's what it said. 3 games on the bench.
Yeah, I think it was sometime around then. Told him he was going to get a lot of opportunities today.
What was his reaction?
He was excited.
Joe, you're typically known as a guy that keeps his composure. Was there any level of frustration that started to come in at any time in that first half, or were you just kind of able to manage it and just kind of stay level-headed and over?
Well, there was some frustration with the pre-snap penalties. We got to be better in that area. I thought we controlled the ball really well. We were able to, we had a lot of time of possession, and that was able to keep our defense on the sideline and let them rest. And that was big. I think that was a big reason why they ended up playing so well. We only had 1 touchdown, but we controlled the clock. And we need to be better when we cross that 50. We were across the 50 quite a bit and weren't able to put a lot of points on the board. So we got to be better in that way, but we did control the clock, and I think we were pretty good on 3rd down.
Going off that, I know offensively you want it to be maybe a clear game. Logan Wilson said it's kind of how this team operates. When one side goes down, the other side picks up. Is that kind of just how this team functions when the offense is maybe playing lackluster, the defense steps in, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Where they had that game tonight.
That's how it has to be if you want to be a great team. Not every Sunday everybody's going to show up to play. Defense is going to have a bad game. Offense is going to have a bad game. Special teams is going to have a bad game. And it's what the other 2 units do when that happens.
It is a hard road in the NFL to go 0-3 and get to the playoffs. Big picture-wise, when you leave here, how important was this win tonight?
Yeah, it was very, very important. Part of the reason I wanted to play. I think you go 0-3, not only, obviously a lot of football left to be played, but 0-3 sounds a lot worse than 1-2, and morale is probably a lot lower when you're 0-3. So it's a big win for us. Good to get on the board. I think we'll be able to put some together now.
How do you build upon that now? I mean, other than your physical recovery, what are you looking specifically to improve on this week?
Yeah, we'll continue to have great practices. We got to be better in the passing game, better in the run game. We got to be better on all facets on the offense. We can't have any pre-snap penalties. So communication this week will be key, especially going on the road. So we got to have a great week of practice.
You had a couple of motion penalties there early in the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was going on with that? Communication?
No, three different people on three different snaps, and we can't have that, because then it affected our cadence going forward there for a couple of possessions, and they did a good job timing up some of their plug pressures. So, that's something we got to get rectified. We can't have that, and that's not been us, right? We've been a really disciplined team, and usually win the penalty battle. And that as much as anything, we were 3rd and 1 in the first half, and we ended up in 3rd and 11. And that's we can't tolerate that.
I know you said Joe's a competitor, but was there ever a moment for you where you didn't think you would be able to play tonight over the past 8 days or so since tweaking?
Well, you just take it. I mean, I'm in here saying day to day because that's what we're doing, and it's you just never fully know, and you just want honest responses from him, which he gave, and you talk to the doctors, and everyone gets on the same page and feels good about it, and he goes out there and delivers a performance like he did.
There was a lot of questions about how mobile he could be when you decided to call that naked that ended up on that 43. What kind of what led to the decision? That was there something you felt over the course of the game that felt comfortable putting him in that spot?
Yeah, I mean that was a discussion that we had the last couple of days is whether we felt comfortable doing it or not, and I asked him a couple of plays before, and he felt good about it. And so it's really limited. It's not much, when you watch that play. It's a quick toss. I'm gonna put the over/under on like 7 steps he took before he whipped out the bench route to Jamar. So he did a great job. He snapped his head around. He was ready for 97 on the edge, and Jamar did a great job coming out of it and selling like he was on the backside of the run.
Knowing that Joe was playing with what he was playing with, how important was it for the defense? How important was it for Jamar, just team effort wise, to kind of pick Joe up a bit?
There's no doubt, and that's what this team has always been about. And Joe's toughness, we're just used to it, so you kind of take it for granted at times because he's played through a lot of stuff over the last however many years he's been. What, 4 years? Is it 4 years? He's played here 4 years, and so again, he's always a guy that it's appreciated when your quarterback goes out there and is dealing with something as significant as he was, and able to battle through it, throw the ball 40-something times. So that was really, escaped a couple pressures too and got the ball out of his hands. So that was big time.
Another clutch play by Jamar. I don't know what your view of it was, but the 3rd down reception where he had to reach behind him a little bit, I think it was 3rd and 10, and he got 13 yards. It seemed like a really big play on that.
Yeah, I couldn't see very well. I know with the check, Joe checked that play. And got it to Jamar, and I couldn't tell where the ball was going, and so it kind of surprised me to see Jamar catch it behind him. I don't know what the window looked like, but that was certainly a significant play. I think it put us in the red zone. Is that the one you're talking about? And so that was big time.
What do you like about the concept of a pistol fake pitch, play action, default to Jamar? I don't know if we've seen that from you before.
Try not to put your quarterback under center, so you got to be creative.
Talking about being creative, I mean, trying to find those deep connections. I haven't been there as much as you probably like this season. How challenging has that been because of everything you guys are dealing with, some of the constraints? Is that a big reason why you haven't been able to get maybe as many of those deep shots in?
Every game is a little bit different. The first week, it was a rain game, and you're playing against, one of the better fronts in football. I think they've shown that over the last 3 weeks. Baltimore's pretty hell-bent on playing as much to safety and helping on top of our receivers as possible. This week is the same thing. They know they got Aaron Donald up front, so they're just going to play as soft as humanly possible to keep everything in front, make it go the length of the field, which you can see your defense got to play well, so it allows you to do that. So the biggest thing is for us just to continue to remain patient, be creative, take advantage of the shots when we get them. We may see a lot of that this year with the receivers we got. You got to get used to that.
Are you comfortable with the direction of the offense right now? Do you feel like you guys are close to where you want to be?
No. I thought the first half was really poor by all of us, starting with me not getting us in a very good rhythm with the play calls. The penalties we mentioned, so there was just too much negative that was going on that's not been about us. I thought in the second half we played really well on offense. We had the turnover. It was an unbelievable pick by Witherspoon. I mean, unbelievable. So I think we went down, maybe we scored a touchdown, we had a field goal, we had the turnover on the pick, and then we got into 4-minute mode in those 13 runs. We felt that running the 2 minutes off the clock was more valuable than anything else, given how our defense was playing. So first half, really bad. Second half, I thought was really good. We were able to move the ball quite a bit.
You took the ball on the coin toss. You took the ball.
Yeah.
Hopefully make a matter.
Try to play with the lead. We haven't done it all season. We've been down 2 scores in both the games we lost so far, and so just again felt like we wanted to try to attack them early on and put some points on the board. And usually our defense, when they got a lead, they play pretty well. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get points on the board on that first drive.
I know it's so early in the season, but do you feel like this was a win y'all needed to have and still confidence that you can get to where you want to go?
Yeah, you don't want to look at 0-3. That's a tough spot to be in. Even though we're confident we can get out of anything and get on a tear and win a lot of games. That's the confidence we have. But it is important, especially with the short week coming up. And you just want to the crowd that we have in these home games. I think we're 6-0 when the lights come on, over the last 4 years when we play here. I could be wrong. I know that Raiders game, I think, was a 4:30 game the first year maybe in the playoffs. But I just know the feeling I got whenever the lights are on and our fans are here in the stadium. It is really loud. It causes a lot of problems. They almost called timeout several times with 1 second. I'm watching over there. So, even when they don't feel there was a false start or a delay, anything like that, our crowd makes a huge impact in these home games and especially these night games. And that was really cool to see all the fans turn out. And it was a great night for them, I hope.
Joe's known as a pretty even-keeled guy. What did it say about him today to not only deal with an injury, but especially after the rough start of the first half to continue to kind of stay cool and collect?
Yeah, I think that's the key. At halftime, everybody's got to respond the right way and not get frustrated, because it's an easy thing to get frustrated when you have 6 points at half, I think it was, and really just we hadn't been in much rhythm, and everybody was responsible for that. And I think you can see a lot about this team with how they responded in the second half. Defense got a lot of turnovers and sacks in the second half. Offense moved the ball, ate up the time of possession, got points on the board. Special teams stepped up big with some punt returns and some field goals. So I thought all in all, the second half was a complete team effort, and that's what we want to see.
I know it's only the third time y'all played them, but this is the first time you beat the Rams personally. Does this mean before you get?
We beat them in the preseason game last year, week 1. That's like our only preseason win in 4 years or 5 years. So, no, there's no significance to it. You play a lot of friends, you play a lot of former coworkers, you play a lot of family in this league, and it maybe or maybe doesn't get made a lot of, but it's nothing significant to us.